Hello children, so welcome to AIMS India's online classes. Today from math subject, real numbers topic we are going to learn. So before going to learn about real numbers, once let's recall the number systems which we have learned from primary classes. So first once let's recall them. So first we have a natural number system, means counting numbers, also called as counting numbers, which are all non-fractional numbers starting from 1 to infinity. 1 to infinity means they are also considered as counting numbers. They start from 1 and they will continue so on up to infinity. Means the smallest natural number is 1, but the largest natural number we can't define. It's infinity, we cannot, it does not exist. The set of natural numbers is denoted by the symbol n. Means in the flower brackets we will write 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. These are all considered as elements. This representation is considered as natural number set. Natural number set. Okay. But here in natural numbers, if you see a digital clock, where the counting starts from 0, in the digital clock, in the minutes and seconds part, the counting will be starting from 0. So means, so later our mathematicians identified that, so along with the natural numbers, there is need of 0 also to describe the present any condition. Okay, so they have added 0 to the natural numbers and they named it as with a new set called whole numbers, whose symbol is W. So represented by W. So the number set, whole number set starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Here also largest number we cannot define. Up to infinity it will go so on. Okay, that is about whole numbers. So next about integers, because when we discuss about profit and loss, in real life situations, profit will be considered as positive and loss will be considered as negative. Means in real life situations, along with the counting numbers, along with the 0, there is need of negative numbers also. There is need of negative numbers. There is need of negative numerals. So for the whole numbers, they have added negative numerals, and all these non-fractional numbers from minus infinity. Please make a change here, children. It is minus infinity to plus infinity. Plus infinity means in the integers, the left side, the extreme number, so leftmost digit or leftmost numeral we cannot define because it is minus infinity. Rightmost numeral plus infinity. So here smallest number we cannot define, largest number we cannot define. Okay, smallest number we cannot define, largest number we cannot define. We can't define both. So the symbol is the set of integers, sometimes represented by the symbol I, sometimes by the symbol Z. So these are natural numbers, whole numbers and integers. So next we have rational numbers. Means the numbers which can be expressed in the form of P by Q. Means numerator over denominator, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. Q means the denominator should never be equal to 0. This kind of expression is considered as a rational number. Means the numbers which can be written in the form of p by q. But what is the condition? P and q should be integers, and one more main condition is there, q is not equal to 0. Okay, denominator should be never equal to 0, because in the denominator place, if we keep 0, that number doesn't exist. It is impossible. So that's why here this condition we have to keep in mind, cube is not equal to 0. Means the numbers like 2 by 3, 37 by 15, minus 17 by 19, all, because in the numerators we have 2, 37, minus 17, all are integers. Denominator 3, 15, 19, all are integers. Okay. So this is about rational numbers. So all natural numbers, whole numbers, integers can be written as rational numbers. So just now we have discussed about 3 types of number systems. One is natural, whole, integers. But these 3 also can be written as a rational number. Can be written as a rational number. How means? Suppose if we have a rational number 2, natural number 2, we can write it as 2 by 1, because 2 over 1, which is equal to 2 only, which is equal to 2 only. So any natural number can be written in the form of a rational number. Or if we have minus 5, we can write it as minus 5 by 1, 5 by 1. Or if we have 0, we can write it as 0 by 1. So natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, all can be written in the form of a rational number. In the form of a rational number. Okay. So rational numbers include all integers. But how? Without any decimal part to it. Without any decimal part to it. Without any decimal part to it. Or terminating fractions. Or terminating fractions means fractions in which decimal parts are terminating. After some places they will terminate. They won't stop. They will stop. They won't continue like that. 0.75 minus 0.02, like that. These terminating fractions also can be represented as rational numbers. So all integers can be represented as rational numbers. Terminating fractions can be represented as rational numbers. That process we will be going to learn in next slides. Okay. Non-terminating but repeating or recurring decimals also means they are non-terminating. Their decimal places are not terminating, but they are recurring. 0.666 dash 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 and so on. Means this 6 will be repeating. Minus 2.3333, 3 will be repeating here. These kinds of decimals also. Which kinds of decimals? Non-terminating but recurring. These can also be expressed in the form of rational numbers, which we will be learning later. Okay children, this is 4th type of number set, rational numbers. So here in fractions we have some types. In fractions we have some types, because fractions all belongs to rational numbers. Actually the difference between the fraction and rational number means here in the case of rational number, p and q are integers. P and q are integers. P and q are integers. But in the case of fractions, we will be having only positive values, not negative values. In rational numbers, both positive and negative values are considered. But in fractions, only positive values are considered. Okay. Next. So here, what are the types of fractions? So common fraction. So common fraction, first type, common fraction means fractions whose denominator is not 10. Means 2 by 7. Here denominator is not 10. So that's why it is a common fraction. It is a common fraction. Next, number 2. Decimal fraction. Means fractions whose denominator is 10 or any power of 10. Means 2 by 10, 3 by 10 square means 100, 4 by 10 cube means 1000. Like this decimals or decimal fractions. Why means suppose if we have 2 by 10, we can write it as 0.2. We can write it as a decimal fraction. Suppose if we have 3 by 100, we can write it as 0.03. 0.03 because in the denominator part I have 2 zeros. So in the numerator, after 2 places we have to keep the point. So like that, these are considered as decimal fractions. Means they can be written in the form of decimals. They can be written in the form of decimals. Next, proper fraction. Means if the numerator is less than the denominator, if numerator is less than denominator, it is called proper fraction. Improper fraction. Numerator is greater than denominator, like 5 by 3. Okay. Improper fraction. These improper fractions can be written as mixed fractions. Mixed fractions. Because here we have 5 by 3. Means we have to divide 5 with 3. So 3, 1 times 3. So remainder is 2. Remainder is 2. So how can we write them? 3. We are dividing with 3. Sorry, this is another number. Suppose if I write this number, we are dividing with 3. At that time, we are getting divisor 1, remainder 2 when we divide with 5. When we divide with 5. We can write like this. Means it is divisible by 1 time, but still 2 parts out of 3 parts are remaining. So we can write 1, 2 by 3. Again, if we want to make into improper fraction, 3, 1 is 3 plus 2, 5 by 3. So this is an example of mixed fraction. Means consisting of one integer and one fractional part. Means combination of 2 parts. Integral part, fractional part. 3 is the integral part, 2 by 7 is the fractional part. So it is a mixed fraction. So improper fraction can be written as mixed fraction. Next, compound fraction. Compound fraction means numerator also a fraction, denominator also is a fraction. If it is like that, then that combination is called as a compound fraction. Then this combination is called as a compound fraction. All these kinds of fractions also considered as rational numbers. Considered as rational numbers. They are all in the form of p by q. But what is the difference? In common fraction, denominator is not 10. In decimal, denominator is 10 or powers of 10. Proper fraction, numerator is less. Improper, numerator is more. So which can be written in the form of mixed fraction. Compound means both are fractions. Numerator is fraction, denominator is fraction. Next, another set of numbers, irrational numbers. Means the numbers which are not rational. The numbers which are not rational. Actually, which are rational numbers? Natural numbers, integers, whole numbers, all are rational numbers. And 0.23, like this terminating decimals, 0.333, so on. And like this recurring decimals, they also belong to rational numbers. Or all types of fractions which we have learnt, they are all belongs to rational numbers. So the numbers other than rational numbers, we call them as irrational numbers. We call them as irrational numbers. So these are non-recurring, because if recurring means it belongs to rational number. So these are non-recurring, non-terminating types of decimal numbers. Non-recurring, non-terminating types of decimal numbers, which cannot be written in the form of P by Q, or we can tell them which cannot be written in the form of P by Q. Here, suppose root 2 is there, root 2 value 1.414 and so on, something will come, which will never terminate, which will never repeat, which cannot be written in the form of P by Q. So, root 2 is an irrational number. Like that, means they don't have perfect square root. They don't have perfect square root. That also we can tell. Or cube root of 4 is an irrational number. 2 plus root 3. Here actually root 3 is a irrational number. It is combined with normal, natural number. Means normal, rational number. Irrational number plus rational number belongs to irrational only. Belongs to irrational. Irrational, irrational, like that. Okay. Next. Another set of numbers, real numbers. So numbers which can represent actual physical quantities in a meaningful way are known as real numbers. Are known as real numbers. Okay, means they have complete meaning. They are meaningful. They can represent a physical quantity, actual given physical quantity in a meaningful way. They will give its value. These real numbers can give their real value. So they are not imaginary. They are not imaginary. They are really exist. So they are called real numbers. The symbol is R. So just now whatever number types we have discussed, all the number systems, they belongs to real numbers. So real numbers is the superset of all number sets which we have learnt. And they can be represented on the number line. They can be represented on the number line. So what is a number line? It is a geometrical straight line with arbitrarily defined 0, means origin. So according to our convenience, we will draw a straight line and we will take one 0 in the middle. That is called as a number line. So real number means, so just now whatever number sets we have discussed, all the number types, they belongs to real numbers. They really exist in the nature. We can describe physical quantities and we can tell their value with the help of real numbers. So in a meaningful way. So their symbol is R. Next. Okay, prime number. So just now we have discussed about so many number types. So some of the numbers are defined as prime numbers. Means suppose I have number 6. What I can write? I can write 1 into 6, 2 into 3, 3 into 2, 6 into 1. Means this 1, 2, 3, 6 are the factors of 6. Are the factors of 6. Like that, suppose if I have 5, I can write 1 into 5. Product of 1 into 5. There is no other possible way of writing 5 in terms of normal natural numbers. So, the natural numbers that have 1 and itself as their factors are called prime numbers. Here, what are the factors of 5? 1 and itself. There is no other number except 1 and itself. So, these kind of numbers are called prime numbers. But if you take 6, 1 is factor, 6 is factor. 1 and itself along with that 2 comma 3, 2 more factors are there. 2 more factors are there. So 6 is not a prime number. 6 is not a prime number. So here prime numbers are exactly divisible by 1 and by themselves. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23 all are prime numbers. If P is a set of prime numbers, we can represent like this. P in flower brackets, braces, we can keep 2, 3, 5, 7 and so on. So largest prime number we cannot tell. Okay. So composite numbers. So all natural numbers which are not prime are composite. Means, so which are having factors other than 1 and itself. Suppose for 4, 2 is the factor. For 6, 3 is the factor. 8, 4 is the factor. 9, 3 is the factor. 12, 6 is the factor. Means they have other factors other than 1 and itself. So they are composite numbers, denoted by C. So here the number 1, it is neither prime number nor composite number. Neither prime nor composite. Next. Next. Coprime numbers. Coprime numbers. Coprime numbers means if the HCF, what is HCF, children? Highest common factor. Highest common factor. Suppose if the numbers 4 and 9, 4, 9 are there, 4 having factors 1, 2, 4. Here 9 having factors 1, 3, 9. 1, 3, 9. What is the common factor in both of them? 1. Or if you take another example, 6, 12. 1, 1, 2, 3, 6. For 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. These are the factors. What are the common factors? 1 is common, 2 is common, 3 is common, 6 is common. In both the numbers we have these common factors. But out of these 4 common factors, what is the highest? 6 is the highest. 6 is the highest. So 6 will be considered as HCF. 6 will be considered as HCF of the given numbers. But here in 4 and 9, only 1 is the common factor. What is the highest common factor? That is also 1. Means for some kinds of numbers, for some groups of numbers, their HCF is always 1. Their highest common factor is always 1. Means they will have no other factor other than 1 as common factor. So they are known as coprime numbers. They are known as coprime numbers. But here one condition. Here there is no compulsion that the 2 numbers what we have taken are the given numbers, prime numbers. Because in the definition we have coprime. It does not mean that we have to take 2 prime numbers and compare. We can take any 2 prime numbers and we can compare. If they don't have any other common factor other than 1, they are coprime. They are coprime. Okay. So 2 consecutive numbers will always be coprime. So here, if you take any 2 consecutive numbers, they will always be coprime. Any 2, like 5, 6. What is common? 1 is common. Like 21, 22. What is common? 1 is common. Like that, they will be always coprime. So next, even numbers. This definition already you know. Means which are divisible by 2. Which are divisible by 2. Their general form is 2n. their general form is 2n, where in the place of n, you can keep any integer. 2 into -1, -2, 2 into -2, -4, 2 into 0, 0, 2, 1 is 2, 2, 2 is 4, 2, 3 is 6. Like that, in the place of n, we can keep any integer. So the even number set is denoted by E, capital E. Its general expression is 2n. It will have elements -4, -2, 0, 2, 3. Sorry, 2, 4, and so on. Means there is no least even number, there is no greatest even number. Okay. So next, odd numbers. Odd numbers means which are not divisible by 2 are called odd numbers. For odd number general expression means for even number, if I subtract -1, it will become odd. For even number, if you subtract -1, it will become odd number. So the general expansion is 2n minus 1. Or sometimes we can write it as 2n plus 1 also. Because for even number, if we add one more number, it will become odd number. So odd number set -5, -3, -1, 135, and so on. Both sides it is having so on. So least odd number we cannot tell, greatest odd number we cannot tell. Next, children, imaginary numbers. Actually, that kind of numbers do not exist, but for our convenience, in some mathematical calculations, we assume that kind of numbers are there. Here, what we are telling, actually that numbers are not there, but we assume that like that numbers are there. We call them as imaginary numbers. Means whose square value is negative. Because any number, if I do square, -2 whole square, -2 into -2, it will become +4, positive. But only one kind of number, their square will be always negative. That kind of numbers are called imaginary numbers. Means suppose here in root we have -1. Already in the root negative number is there. If you do square root cancel, what will be remaining? -1 will be remaining. So these are imaginary numbers. Next, complex numbers. Complex numbers means combined form of real number, imaginary number is known as complex number. If you have A as a real number, I as a imaginary number, B another real number combined with imaginary part. So then A plus IB, where A is the real part, IB is the imaginary part. Why it is imaginary? Because there is no such number like root of -1. We will assume like that. So real part and imaginary part, the both combination will be a complex number. Both combination will be a complex number. Actually, complex number set is the superset of all the sets of numbers. Okay, children. So like this, we have learnt about so many kinds of number systems. Okay, children. Now let's move on to the next topic. 1 minute, children. Okay, children. Next, identification of prime number. Means suppose a number is given, we have to identify whether it is a prime number or not. Whether it is a prime number or not. So how to means we have some steps here. First step, find the approximate square root of the given number. Find the approximate square root of the given number. Okay. Divide the given number by prime numbers less than the approximate square root of a number. If the given number is not divisible by any of this prime number, then the number is prime. Otherwise, not. Otherwise, not. Means we have to take approximate square root value. Sorry, yes, we have to take prime numbers. First, one number is given. Suppose, let's see by this example. They are asking us to find 571 is a prime number or not. Is a prime number or not. So, is it prime number or not? What is the nearest number? Nearest square root number? Suppose 25. How much? 625. 25 squares are 625. 24. How much? 576. So, its approximate square root value is 24. For 571, if we multiply 24 into 24, how much? 4 16, 4 2 8, 9. 2 4 8, 2 2 are 4, 5. So how much? 6 7 5, 576. So 571 is nearer to 576, whose square root is 24. So we have taken the square root. Let's write prime numbers less than 24. Starting from beginning, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23. So here, this 571 is not divisible by any one of these numbers. Any one of these prime numbers. So, it is a prime number. Okay. We have to take square root number which is nearer to the given number. We have to see whether the given number is divisible by the prime numbers which are less than the near square root number. If it not so, then it is a prime number. If it is not divided, then it is a prime number. Next, another example. Is 1 prime number or composite number? 1 is neither prime number nor composite number. Neither prime number nor composite number. Okay, children. Next. So, representation, n is missing here. Representation for rational number of a real number line. So, or representing a rational number on the real number line. Now, 3 by 7. 3 by 7 into 7 equal parts. 3 by 7 into 7 equal parts. Because here the numerator part is less. So, numerator part is less means we will have value less than 1 because numerator is less than denominator. So, its value lies between 0 and 1. 0 and 1. Okay. So, 3 by 7 means between 0 and 1, whatever place is there, that place is to divided by 7 equal parts. Why 7? Because the denominator is 7. Like that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Means the place between 0 and 1 is divided into 7 equal parts. Out of 7 equal parts, numerator how much? 3. So 1, 2, 3. This will be 3 by 7. This will be 3 by 7. So between 0 and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. From 0 to 1, 2, 3. Third part will be the 3 by 7th part. 3 by 7th part. Suppose if I have 13 by 7, where numerator is more, improper fraction, I can write it as mixed fraction. 7, 13. 7, 1 is 7, 6 is remaining. So I can write divisor 1, remainder 6, quotient 1, remainder 6, divisor 7. I can write like that, write like 1 6 by 7. Means after 1, 6 by 7 parts we have to count. Means 0 to 1 will exist like that only. That 1 to 2 part, between 1 to 2 we have to represent this 6 by 7. Means the space between 1 to 2 to be divided into 7 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This sixth part will be considered as the given rational number. Means after one part means how can we assume it? We can assume it as 7 by 7. We can assume it as 7 by 7. Next we have 6 by 7. Both add means we will get 13 by 7. So means after 1, 7 lines we have to draw. Sixth part we have to name it as 13 by 7. Next, minus 4 by 9. Proper fraction. Without minus means proper fraction. Less than lies between 0 and 1. If there is no minus sign, 4 by 9 lies between 0 and 1. But they have given minus symbol here. So it lies to the left between 0 and minus 1. So minus 4 by 9 lies between 0 and minus 1. So 0 to minus 1, place 9 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 equal parts. From that 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth part. Fourth part will represent minus 4 by 9. Minus 4 by 9. Minus 4 by 9. 1 minute, children. Okay, children. Let's discuss some questions. Let's discuss some questions, children. So, what is the first question here? A number which is in the form of a by b, where a and b are integers, is called. Integers means here rational number, because it is not fraction. Because fractions they will be not having negative sign for the numerator part. So compulsorily they have given integers. That's why they are rational numbers. But here in the question they have to give b not equal to b 0. Like that, one more condition they have to give. So the answer is rational number. Next, every integer is a. Every integer is a. Suppose minus 2 integer. It is not a natural number. It is not a whole number. It cannot come under fraction when it is in the numerator. But we can write it as minus 2 by 1, which is a rational number. So every integer can be written as rational number. So in the rational number p by q, where q is not equal to 0, p is called. What is the name of p? In the upper part, we call it as numerator. We call it as numerator. Next children. If numerator and denominator are either both positive or both negative, then the number is both are positive, plus 2 by plus 3, both are negative, minus 4 by minus 5. So plus over plus, we will have plus only, or without sign we can represent as 2 by 3. Minus minus gets cancelled. Minus by minus equal to positive only, 4 by 5. So The answer is when both the signs are same in a rational number, so then it is considered as a positive rational number. Positive rational number. Which of the following is false? Every fraction is a rational number. Correct. But every rational number need not be a fraction. Correct. Because minus 5 by 7 is a rational number, which is not a fraction. So the given statement is correct. A is correct. But they are asking false statement. False statement. Every integer is a rational number. Correct. But every rational number need not be an integer, because rational number means 0.26 terminating decimal, also a rational number, but it is not an integer. So integer can become rational, but rational number need not be an integer. It is also correct statement. Every rational number is integer. Wrong. Every rational number is not integer. Just now we have seen the example. This statement is wrong. Every natural number rational. Correct. Rational number need not be natural number. Correct. So 3 statements are correct, but they are asking false statement. So A is not the right answer, B is not the right answer, D is not the right answer, C will be the right answer, because it is a false statement. Every rational number is not an integer, because 0.26 it's a rational number, but it is not integer. It is not integer. Next, which of the following is a positive rational number? Means positive means both signs should be plus or minus. Like in the example of C, minus minus gets cancelled, we can write it as 7 by 9. So option C is an example of positive rational number. The quotient of two integers always A. The quotient of two integers is always A. The quotient of two integers means we can take minus 2 by 1, minus 4 by 7, or 4 by minus 7, or 0 by 8, or 8 by 0. Like this we can have so many cases. Like this we can have so many cases. In all the cases, what is the quotient? Is it always a fraction? No, because when we get negative sign, it will be not a fraction. Always a rational number, except when denominator is 0. Here a rational number, rational number, rational number, rational number. Here no, because denominator is 0. So correct, because it is always a rational number except denominator is 0. This case is correct. Is a natural number? Wrong. Is an integer? Wrong. So option B is correct. The rational numbers 1 by 16 minus 1 means minus 1 by 1 are same sides of 0, opposite sides of 0, represent same number at middle of number line. So here number line, this is 0, 1 by 16 is positive, will be to the right of number line, minus 1 is negative, will be to the left of number line. So opposite sides of 0 on the number line, they will exist like that. Okay children, so that's all for today. So let's continue the topic in tomorrow's class. So thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates. Thank you children. Have a good day.